Hello, you are welcome to our series of introductory lectures in GIS, Geographic Information Systems. Today we are looking at data capture in GIS. Data capture refers to the procedure of data input into the GIS environment, how we get data into the GIS environment. In the last lecture, we looked at the importance of data in the GIS, because everything you are going to do in GIS revolves around data. So we can get data into the GIS environment through our GPS, global positioning systems, and a receiver, either dual frequency GPS or single frequency GPS. This one, the difference is that they have different level of accuracy, and then you can use ODK or your Android phone. There are so many programs in the Android phone that you can use to access your data. An example is My Coordinate. You can download My Coordinate through Play Store, and then once you load it, it's going to give you something similar to this. And then you have the GPS coordinate. You can get your coordinates. You can go to the map, and when you say you have coordinate, it give you the coordinates like this. You have the latitude, the longitude, the signal accuracy, and you see it in the map. So this is a way in which you can get your data into the GPS. With your just Android, you can get data from the field, and you can bring it into your data, into your GIS database. Another way is you can scan your map or images, aerial photographs, like some aerial photographs that were not georeferenced. You can bring it into the GIS environment through scanning. You can scan them through a flatbed scanner, or you can use rotating drum scanner. You can also get data into your GIS environment from remote sensing sources, such as satellite images, area photos, auto photos, and so on and so forth. These are sources of data into the GIS environment. Another way is that you can get data into the GIS environment is a crowdsourced data, in which people from the field can send in your data, their data into the field, into your environment through some online applications. So the data they collect from the eyewitness data, they can send the coordinate of what is happening to you with the photo or videos. And then this data can be sourced, is referred to as crowdsourced data. We also have open data sources, such as Google Earth has a lot of data, OpenStreet has a lot of data, and they have different types of data available in open data source. We also have raster to vector conversion. You can convert any raster data to GIS, either raster in form of images or raster in form of codes. You can convert them to vector, and you can make your maps from it. We are going to do some demonstration on how you can get your data. Let's assume that you have gone to the field, and from the field you have your map in Excel. You have your data in Excel. For instance, you are on the field, you have the feed ID, you have the easting, you have the northing, you have the name, you have the occupation of the this is a typical example of people affected by projects. So we have the occupation of the affected person, we have the gender, we have the annual income. So when you have this data, you can actually bring it into the GIS environment. What you do is to save the data as either CSV or tab delimited, and because these are the kind of thing that can be accepted, you give it a name. Here we give it the name of field data collection. for PAP. Let's call it for PAP. That's people affected by projects. When you save it, you now go to your ArcGIS or whatever instrument you want to use. You add the data, just like any other data, feed data collection for PAP, and then you click it and you bring it in, and it comes, the data is here. You see, you have the data collection for PAP. You have what we have there is already back into this. Then you want to add the data into it's still in the tabular format. So you want to bring it in as a GIS database. So you go to File, Add Data, add X and Y data, and here you select the file that feed data collection for PAP. Then you have the easting, the X field, and then the Y field is nothing. This is because the Y field is actually the latitude, the X field is longitude. So you click OK, you leave this one, then you have the data. This data has come in as point data. Now it's just an event, so you can change the feature, can change the size of this so that you can be big, and so that you can identify the feature properly on the. So you can see that this building is the building of the PAP, people affected by projects, and you have another one. You have another one. It's another building affected by projects. So that is the way you enter your data from the field and you make it a GIS. But you want to make it a GIS data set, you go to this event because it's still an event. You export the data as a shape file, and then you call it, you want to see as a shape file, and then you call it PAP Ibadan. PAP Ibadan. That means people affected by projects in Ibadan. And then you say, do you want to add the data, exported data to the map here? You say yes. So we have the data here. So if you want to see only the data, you can turn off all the other layers, and then you have the path alone. And these are the locations of the path. And when you put the images, you see these buildings are there. Another way in which you can bring in data is through, as we said in our lectures, through direct scanning of maps or images into the GIS. Let's assume that you have or through remote sensing sources, you have your data, like this image is already in the raster format, it's already in the GIS environment, but you want to convert it to vector, raster to vector conversion. So what you need to do, the first is to go to the ARC catalog, and the ARC catalog, this ARC catalog is here. In the ARC catalog, you create your file. You create your file. This is the place where you want to create a file. And then you say new shape file. And then you call it polygon. Let's look at buildings in the Ibadan metropolis. So you have it. And then after you have done that, if you don't have your editor table here, you can go to customize toolbar, and you activate your editor tool. If you click on it, it's toggle off, and then if you click again, it toggles on. So when you have the editor, you can now say start editing, and you want to go to the buildings, and then we have the buildings here. We want to edit the buildings, and what do we want to do? We want to create a new feature. You create a new feature, use this one to create new feature. And then you want to give you options of either picking a polygon, a rectangle, or a circle. So you pick a polygon and you start digitizing. You left click to start, left click to continue, left click, left click. And when you are done, you double click. And then you have done that, you go to the next one. And that's how you select and then you digitize. Let's say you want to do, when you are done, you go to stop editing and say, do you want it to ask you whether you want to save the editing? Say yes. Let's now say, assume you want to digitize road layer. Then you go back to catalog and then you go to this area, to the folder you want to save your work into, and say new shapefile. Under the new shapefile, you pick the same major road, and then you select polyline, and then you click OK. You click OK. You're here. Now go back to editor, start editing, and then you pick major road. Major road is down here. And then you click major road, and then you are good to go. Then let's assume one of the major road is here. So you can zoom so that you can get the main line. So you go again to create feature, and here you say line, and then you make sure you are in the center line of the road. Actually, if you depend on, you can actually digitize the encasing of the map. That means you go to you digitize the edges of the road, and this how you continue. This one has issue, so you can delete vertex so that you can continue. When you are done, you double click, and that's how you do you resize your line. If you want to so when you are done, you stop editing, and then we want to see how we digitize point layer. In that case, you go back to catalog, and then you select new shapefile, and here you select point, and you say bus stop. So point, and then you click OK, and you go to editing, start editing. You want to go to bus stop, and bus stop, continue. Then you can look at the bus stop. Is one of them. It's one of them by the metropolis. This one of them along Adamasiba. You go back to this and say bus stop point. So this is a bus stop. Then you move again. It's another bus stop, and so on and so forth. When you are done, you go to stop editing and you save your editing. That is how you capture your data, either from the field or you digitize it the way you have it. It is assumed that this data is already your reference. If you want to bring in data directly from your GPS, you go to the customize, and then under the toolbar, you click on GPS. Already selected in my own, but if it's not done, if you are just installing your GIS, you click on GPS, and it will give you this, and then you can say you want to connect the GPS directly. So when you click, if you are connected, if you connect it as a COM port or USB, then you can bring in your GPS data directly